Hey guys, I'm here with Chazz Forman, one of my best friends in the whole world, and one of the sweetest and funniest guys I know. Chazz, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hey everybody. I'm Chaz. Known Emily for a while. Not too long, but a little bit.
A good
And
amount.
yeah, I decided to hop on the old interview train because I thought, yeah, this is pretty sweet. Uh, been in a couple videos. No big deal. It's fine. Yeah. So take it away. That's all I got.
Okay, well, yeah, so
Yeah.
Chazz and I have been friends for like almost exactly, yeah, actually exactly like 3 years because we met. You're gonna have to take it away now. I don't remember the class, what class we were taking.
Wow, it's only 3 years ago. Dang. All right. It was e it was European studies, but it was like after 1850 or something like that. I just signed up for it because I wanted a history minor, so I joined it, and turns out it was a pretty advanced class. But I think overall it was pretty good. Like I made a all rightish grade in there, so yeah, it's pretty good.
And I didn't study. Woo!
Yeah, what the heck?
I still made an all rightist grade, but I just showed up to the test. Or like the
Okay,
little whatever.
he judged me though. I swear that professor, like, he always like picked on me. I don't know why. Everyone else is quiet, and he's like, "Chaz, you're too quiet." I'm like, "Why me?"
I
I don't
don't
know.
think
It's dumb.
was I
It's dumb.
quiet in that class?
At first, yeah. Like before I was invited to MEU from you, I didn't even know you said words.
I feel like
That's
wait, didn't
good.
you like sit behind me in that class or something?
Yeah, I think I sat trying to envision in my head, it was a while ago. I think you were in the front, literal center, right in front of the guy, and I was a little bit back because I was like, I want to be a cool kid and sit in the back, but not too far because I'm a studious student. So yeah, so yeah, that happened.
Would you like to kind of explain how how we first like kind of met and stuff through that?
Um,
And maybe our first impressions of one another?
yeesh. All right. So like, don't
Being
hold
brutally
back, right? All right. No, just kidding. I already kind of touched on it. At first, I honestly didn't hear you talk much. So it's just honestly, nobody's like that in college. It's kind of normal. Like nobody's really like talk to each other. Like some people do, and they're like, "Hey man, you got a pencil?" You're like, "Yeah, man, right here," and that's about it. Uh, but yeah, you didn't really talk much. You'd answer some questions. I didn't. I avoided them all the time. But yeah, basically the way it went down is one day the guy was just like, "Yeah, and one of our students has something to say," and I was just
sounds like him.
like, so, and he was like, "Yeah, take it away," and then you went up there, and I was like, "Oh, it's that one that's in the front," and then you were like, "Hey, everybody, do you want to go do something that's crazy cool and also maybe involves free trips?" And I was like, "Free trips." So that's where it got my interest, honestly. And yeah, it was Model European Union. If you haven't covered it before, I'm sure you have. But yeah, it was a good old time.
Wow.
That was the
Wow.
first.
Fake. I'm just kidding. I'm just joking. You would have known this if you watched my videos. I'm just joking, Chaz.
Damn. All right. I watch other YouTube content. It's fine. But yeah, from there it was mostly just meeting you through that organization. And then honestly, everybody being all serious, I was like, I don't know what I'm talking about in this. I don't know anything about the European Union. And everyone's like, let's go hang out and drink or do something fun. And then like that's when the real bonding happened. Yeah.
Well,
I don't know
my
how much you want me to go into
oh,
detail.
I mean, you can go into detail if you want.
Oh, mostly going off that, I was just hanging out at your old apartment. Yeah. Well, first it was old apartment, and then it was old apartment. See, there we go.
Yep. My first impression of Chazz was he was extremely quiet. I remember we went to the Commons, which is our full food hall on our campus, in our university, and I remember we were eating something, and you were just like, I couldn't like really talk to you because you're just so quiet, and like I was just trying to like start a conversation with you, and you just were just, it was like kind of, I don't know, but I really noticed like basically from the beginning your sense of humor and how like witty and funny you are. Like Chazz always makes jokes. I don't always acknowledge his jokes, but yeah,
it's good. Nice. I like how both were like, that person's quiet and I don't want to talk to them, and then here we are. Yep. Yeah, it's pretty good.
And Starbucks. Oh, that doesn't have like personal information.
Whoa, her name's Emily. Whoa.
It doesn't have my name on it. Okay. But yeah, and then I convinced him and so many others to join the Starbucks cult.
Oh god, I mean, it was great. It was a great source of income. I love the job. The siren really knows how to motivate you to work there. Yeah, a little scared, but I made it through. Yeah, it's good.
So, kind of going back to before I met you, would you like to describe for people kind of your whole life story, like how you grew up?
Whoa, what? Okay.
Go ahead. Take it away.
It was at a hospital in Georgia, the state of Georgia. No, just kidding. But yeah, I've lived in Georgia my whole life. A lot of people don't think that because I don't. A lot of people say I don't sound like I'm from here, but mostly it's because my parents are from up north and they met in Cincinnati. And I had a lot of family in Cincinnati that I used to visit, but yeah, we go there pretty much like twice a year. And then falling out happened after certain people passed away, and it was just not a good time. So now I mostly stay in Georgia. But yeah, so far I've just gone to school in the local area I've grown up in. Elementary, middle school, high school is all seamless transition because they're all within a mile of each other. A little weird. But then going to Kennesaw State, am I allowed to say that? Yeah. People know that. Okay, cool. Kennesaw. Going to our university, I did it because at the time it was affordable, and both my sisters were going, and I was like, hey, I might as well. So I didn't try branching out to like any crazy college, mostly because I had to pay for it. So when I graduated high school, my mom was like, hey, you should really get a job. And I was like, yeah, that'd be kind of cool. And she's like, no, you should get a job because you need to go to college, and that's on you, dude. And I was like, ooh. So it was a good lesson though, because I did that same thing, and I was able to get a car. I was able to get a phone, and I paid for those through college. And yeah, worked my way to get a business bachelor's degree for marketing. And from that, it took a whole summer, but I was able to find a pretty cool job here in Atlanta. And so far, been mostly putting all my time into that. So yeah, good times.
Well, that was a good synopsis of your life. How would you describe you as a person throughout your development?
Definitely someone you don't want to hang out with. No, just kidding. No, through my development, when I grew up, I was really shy. I had a few friends, so I didn't really like make too many of them. Initial impression, like I found a few friends, which it really helped too with the whole, like a lot of people move different states when they're in school, and it really messes up their friends. I was able to see pretty much the same friend group all the way through. So I guess that helped. But yeah, early like elementary school or throughout elementary school and middle school, I was pretty shy, pretty little chubby, got picked on for it. A lot of people you know, just pick on you for that. Or just middle school is just like a gauntlet. People just randomly, like, literally punch you for no reason. You're like, oh, cool. So going through that, I basically found out through my family being really, like, supportive and everything. They're just like, you know what, do you? And I was like, yeah, do me. And then you don't really pay attention to those people hating on you. And that's good life advice even now. Just stay away from people like that. And if they try to do something like that, don't try to give it. I know road rage is a little, you know, you want to yell back at people, but in general, just, like, don't do that. And that's what I did. And then from that is where I've always liked making people laugh, even when I was shy. So then becoming more talkative, it was just a really fun thing to do with friends and stuff. And through that, in high school, for some reason, all the cliques liked me, even people that beat me up. It was really weird. They were just like, yeah, that's Chazz. And I was like, is it though? I don't really like you, but, you know, just putting that one out there. And people could be watching, I don't know. But yeah, through that, I guess a lot of people liked me through the end there. So they've just generally been like, yeah, he's a cool dude. And then, yeah, from that, I just like to be, I do try to like to go out a lot. I will say I'm probably, I don't know my type or anything, but I'd say I'm probably more introverted because I can do extroverted things and I like going out and hanging out with people. But there's times where, like, I'm like, yeah, I'd rather be at home. So yeah, good old balance there. Good old development, scaled up.
Yeah. I mean, just in general, like, I feel like a lot has changed since we have become friends, just in both of our lives. What would you say was the biggest change that you made in this last 3 years? Or what are some of the biggest things you've done, like milestones or accomplishments or whatever else?
Okay.
Failures, successes.
Sheesh. Okay. Let's think about that for a minute. Accomplishments. Well, I will say it's pretty big, especially where I live. It was pretty big getting through high school because I knew a lot of people that didn't make it. So even to me, like, that wasn't really a huge thing just because, like, my family, it's like, yeah, it's pretty expected. But people living around here, like, that's a pretty big thing. So don't take that for granted. And I wanted to say the ability to pay off my car really made me feel like, oh, that's awesome. Like, I love that. And being able to go through school was also great. So I feel like, honestly, education-wise, it's probably the biggest advancements I've had last 3 years. And definitely finding my current job, to me, is like, oh my God, I love it. So yeah.
How would you describe yourself for someone that doesn't know you?
I'd say very conversational. I don't like it, you know, we meet a new group of people, how you're like, hey, and, like, everyone's like, hey, what's going on? And then they just, like, there's, like, the silence. I like to break that a lot. So I like to do that through probably, like, comedic approaches. So I guess people could describe you like, hey, it's the funny guy, but I don't know. I guess it's like one of those, like, artiste things where you're like, I don't think my art's pretty, but, like, everyone else is like, no, you're cool. So yeah, it's one of those things where I like to meet new people and hear about what they do and then try to make them laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't one of your goals to do stand-up comedy, more stand-up comedy in the future?
So yes, I actually dabbled in it about a couple summers ago. I did a open mic night at a local place, and to me, it was really cool. The experience itself was a little weird because, like, that's such a local place that those people, they all know each other, so it's kind of like the odd one out. Like, they were all like, hey, Tony, what's going on? And then when I was at the sign-up sheet, they're just like, and that guy, yay. So I was just kind of like there, but the fact that I was able to get up on a stage in front of people and, like, say things and then actually hear a reaction from people, like, it was, like, great. Like, I'm not really afraid to speak in front of people. I guess that's another trait I should mention is I really liked presentations just because I like talking in front of people, and when you build off people, it can really help you. Like a lot of people get scared. I even do initially when we walk up there. But if you sort of get a reaction out of them to sort of set the room mood, it's thrilling. Like it's really cool. Yeah, so I was able to get a few laughs out of it. Wasn't the best. That's the other thing I work on is improv. I really like to improv situations and like stand up. Like when I did that stand up night, I didn't have a script or anything. I just like thought of something. So yeah, I'd like to do that in the future for real. It'd be sweet.
So kind of going on the topic of speaking in front of people, how would you describe your group projects that you had to do in college? What would you say your role was typically?
Oh boy. Well, when I'd say that to people, they'd say, "Oh yeah, go ahead. You're the presenter." Because sometimes, like in my classes, one of the classes, they were literally like, your whole group doesn't have to be a presenter. There's the word. You can choose one person," and they literally all looked at me when he said that, and I was like, "Ee." But in terms of actual workload and stuff with projects and school and everything, I was one of those people that's like, I'm not really perfectionist, but I want to get it done, and I want to get it done efficiently or as like quickly in a way, not rushed, but like I want to not wait to the last minute to do it. So I guess I kind of bother people in that sense, but I make up for it because I like to take the stage with the presenting. It was great. I was able to improv one of my last projects, and it was so great. Literally, everybody stared at me like, "Chazz, I'm scared. You didn't give us anything to say. What do we say?" And I was like, "Watch this." And I went in front of people and did like basically I made the classroom do yoga. It was awesome. It was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chazz and I are pretty different that way. How would you describe the way I approach projects or like things in general?
Are people familiar with dictators? People know what that. That's pretty. It's a pretty. I mean, no.
Chazz, no, seriously. I want you to explain why my nickname is Satan and why my nickname is Dictator for people that don't know. I was going to say
Lucifer too, and I thought that was too bad. So basically, Emmels here likes to, I'd say, not control the room, but control the room. No, it's not really like scary, like I'm gonna crush you kind of deal. It's just basically like, hey guys, here's the rallying point. Come to me, and you're just like, okay, what's this about? I'm gonna share a plan, and then like share the plan. Everyone's like, yeah, that's pretty good. Maybe if we do this change, okay, well that change isn't gonna be the most efficient thing, so thank you. And then like it'll, your feedback will be in there, but Emily will take the situation there. So it always sounds extreme, but like I like describing it that way. It's good.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. I think on YouTube, well, okay, I'll describe kind of how people see me on YouTube, and then you describe whether, or you say how it is different or similar. So
okay.
I think people think on YouTube that I'm pretty meek. I mean, not meek, but like pretty reserved, pretty quiet.
Meek Mill.
Not like how would you? Okay, let me see. How would you guys describe me?
So I was trying to read the chat, and like it's a lot of things I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So sorry about that.
Okay. For those people that are listening right now, how would you guys describe me via YouTube?
Yeah, that's an interesting question.
Because I feel like I'm a lot different than what people would typically think.
Man.
Okay, never mind. People aren't describing, so whatever.
They will like in an hour.
I've gotten a lot of like kind of reserved, quiet, not very like people have described, which I understand, when I'm by myself, I have kind of like a bitch face, resting bitch face, kind of stone-faced.
All right.
Introverted. How do I act typically, like when I'm with friends? Or with, like, how would you describe?
Are we talking with alcohol or without?
You can do both.
I shouldn't explain one. No.
No, I mean, I'm open.
No, yeah, I get that. Because initially, before I knew you, like, yeah, I thought definitely like quiet, not emotionless, but just like, I guess, in, I don't know. Honestly, I can't describe that with most people in college because everyone else is like really tired and just like in it all the time. So like, I was like that. But with friends, we're talking a different breed. Okay. Basically, that's where you can exercise your definite extroverted way and be like, hey, I'm gonna party it up. I'm gonna be with people. I'm gonna be fun and just do whatever. Not saying like do whatever like bad things, like someone just hands you something out of a crowd and you're like, I'll do that. Like, no, not like that. But yeah, just like fun to be with this in the situation. Laughs, yells. No, I just mean like, you know, when you're with a crowd of people, some people are just like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Like you'll actually like put your voice in the conversation. You won't just be on the side. So yeah, definitely a polar opposite, I'd say, than like if people think you're just all introverted. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I definitely can be extreme. Definitely when I'm drunk. I mean, Chazz has seen me at my very lowest moment.
I don't. I've never seen that. Nope.
How would you describe me when I'm drunk?
Very affectionate. So that's definitely a trait, which I think I get that way too. So like you're not alone. Honestly, I kind of like that because there's drunk types, right? There's like really depressed people, and then there's like really affectionate people. You're definitely on the affectionate spectrum. Yeah, just wanting to keep going is a thing. Even if you're like laying down on the ground, you're like, I'm just gonna keep going, guys. And you're like, you go, Emily. You're really taking the floor right now. Literally. But yeah, obviously I just leave it at affectionate drunk.
I mean, people know certain stories a little bit, so you don't have to be so.
Ooh.
I mean, you don't have to be so reserved about things. I'd actually. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just like, I mean, it's fine.
I was gonna say, Chazz, I think when you're drunk, you are affectionate, but you also are very much like, I think Chazz kind of holds back of what, like, he'll kind of hold back things that he wants to say sometimes. I find Chazz to be able to read a room really well. Like, he's able to kind of pick up on people's emotional states, and he also picks up on certain nuances that people do not always reveal through verbal conversation, or maybe they do, but it's like little bits and pieces. Do you think that's right? Or
I could say so, looking into it, because I've never gotten to a point where I forget while I've been drunk.
Well, I'm not talking about drunk. I'm just saying in general.
Oh, in general. Okay, good. I was like, oh, I don't know. Yeah, no, I definitely pick up on things. I have that trait where like I can do that, and I always usually attribute the way I am too with my family, just because my family's been a really big part of me, especially my two sisters. Growing up with sisters, I think, is really, I want to say, helped me. So that's really cool. So I want to say I owe kudos to them because they really helped me with that. But yeah, I'll definitely empathetic towards people. Like I'll feel like, yeah, that's actually a horrible situation to be in. But at the same time, I don't always share that. Like I'm not like spilling the tea constantly. So everybody thinks I'm behind and they're like, yeah, Chazz, you did not pick up on that social cue. But actually I did. Just didn't say anything about it.
I feel like actually I mean, I don't always acknowledge when you do this, but I actually feel like when it comes to everybody else in the group almost. I feel like Chazz is one of the first people to pick up on things, like very minute little things that other people would miss. And also, like, when you're drunk, you're also very, like, I think you can be passive aggressive when you're drunk. You kind of just,
God.
well, like, not in a horrible way, but you're just very much like, I mean, not like will speak your mind, but in kind of a passive aggressive way. But I think that's also like, because I've seen Chazz like when he's been kind of down when he's been drunk, but you're typically affectionate. It's like this kind of weird melancholic affection that sometimes come out. But I feel like when you're in a very good mood, you're an affectionate drunk. I've never seen him as like, I've never really seen you angry very often, or even in general.
Yeah, that's also a thing I've just either picked up on or just do, is it takes a lot for me to get angry. Also, I like all the comments saying we should get a Drunk Emily video. Agreed. But yeah, I don't really like to get angry because my perception of being angry is it'll lead to like really like outbursts or like rage or something that I'll say that'll permanently damage a relationship with somebody. So that's why I like to keep that in. Like, I could be like really mad at somebody, but I'm not going to show it, and I'll still like laugh off things with them and stuff. But like inside, I'm kind of like, yeah, what they did earlier kind of made me mad, but I also don't want to lash out because then like they might think of me differently forever. I don't know. That's my interpretation of it.
I mean, I've seen you, the only time I've seen you really get the courage to lash out was when you were drunk. And again, it wasn't like in a really like mean way, but I remember a certain instance when I was dating a certain person like a few years ago, and you were basically like kind of saying like, when you were drunk, you were like, why are you guys together? Like, kind of bashing that individual.
I didn't even know that. That's kind of scary. Wow. No. I did not know that. Maybe I do. I guess I have forgotten things while drunk. Because I'd definitely be like, yeah, I said that. Wow. Oh my God.
Well, I mean, we were playing a game.
Okay.
That's but the way you were asking questions, also you became like a little bit more assertive too. Like, I don't even think it was your turn, which we all know I'm that way too. But I don't think it was your turn, but you decided to start like talking towards that individual. It might have been me or towards that individual. It was about the person I was dating at the time.
But, God, anybody tell me to sit down? Usually Bradley does.
I don't even know if Bradley was there. Actually, yeah, he was, but he probably was like in a corner or something.
Dang, okay. Bradley usually puts me in check. He did last time when I was drunk, and I was like, yeah, I should probably stop talking.
Yeah. Let's see. Do you guys have any questions for Chazz, by the way? I haven't seen.
I see one that says, do you hate being criticized?
Oh, yeah. Take it away.
Man, I guess it's kind of like double-edged sword, which is kind of for everybody, but I do appreciate criticism like in my like workplace and stuff when people tell me like, hey, you did this wrong. Just want to let you know. There's a certain way of like saying it, and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll definitely like do better next time, and I'll like even use that as a case like, oh well, I'm dumb, but like that's a joke. So yeah, that I always appreciate stuff like that when it's not constructive and like pretty negative, and somebody just says something like, wow, you actually suck. And I'm just like, all right, like I usually play it off, but it still like hurts. I'm not like immune to that. But yeah, usually if you're around me, if you're picking up from the interview, I try to keep the situation really like happy and fun. So just because when things get negative and like you got to break up fights and stuff, that's not fun. I don't want to do that. So yeah. Boom.
INT Jerk asked, here's a question for him. How often do you drink? Be honest.
How often do I drink?
Yeah.
Sorry, I was reading a text on here. Not very often. I'm not really into like I've grown to really like beer a lot, and it can be fun to drink, and especially like hanging out with people. I definitely do like more social drinking. But when it comes to at home, literally the only times I really drink is like, for instance, yesterday on Sunday watching football, I had like one craft beer that I have, and that's it. I don't know. It's just like alone, like right now before this interview, if I was just like chilling right at this desk without a computer, if I have a beer, I just I don't feel the need to go get one. I just don't do it like that. So yeah, no, I'd say not often.
Yeah. And I mean, this is partly why so the last time I got drunk, and I really did not intend to get as drunk as I did, was on New Year's Eve. And that was the last time I actually drank. I really don't drink often at all. Mm-hmm. And I got really drunk.
Just a little.
When I was sitting on the couch, supposedly I even tried to kiss Chazz.
You didn't get far. It's fine. You didn't do anything you didn't do anything that I was like, I'm uncomfortable. I'm never saying this to Emily ever. Like, you were at your distance. I was like, yeah, I don't know. I didn't know that afterward, like everyone's like, all right, get up, let's go to the bathroom. I didn't know. I was like, I feel like Emily's fine. And then later I found out you were not fine.
Yeah. And it's really bad because I don't remember any of this because I have a really low, we also discovered I have a very low tolerance to alcohol. I mean, I kind of knew that before, but it's even lower than what I thought.
I think what's crazy is the fact that we did that live stream that night. And if people go back and watch that, you were nowhere at that level at that video. But literally maybe 5 or 10 minutes after we ended it is when that happened.
Yeah, which is
it's wild.
It's insane because I didn't really have that much to drink. I just during that live stream I had maybe like 2 sips of wine. That was it. And then it just went downhill from there. And that's why, like, I think I'm allergic to alcohol, honestly.
That's what my sister says.
Yeah.
Whenever she drinks, she's like, I get so hurt. I think I'm allergic.
Well, yeah. I mean, I haven't had anything since, and it's fine with me. The thing is, I think we're both kind of similar in this way. Like, we can appreciate, like, that kind of stuff, but at the same time, we're not. Like, when we hang out, just like with our friends in general, we don't ever feel pressured to drink, I would say.
Yeah, that's true. I do like how we'll like meet up, and rather than be like, let's go out to this club and get wasted, we're like, let's go to this apartment and play a board game.
Yeah.
But we do both. Sometimes we do both.
How would you like to describe our gaming styles for board games?
Oh boy. Okay. Yeesh. Let's say video games have always been a huge influence to me. I love them even to this day. I play them. Board games, not so much, but I still play them. So I'd say I'm kind of like collective and strategic, but I can get outsmarted pretty quick, especially if I'm new to the game. Now, Emily, on the other hand, I'd say is very aggressive. Very aggressive. Anytime there's any game that's like, get in a group of 3 and be a team, she's like, we're not playing that one. We're doing the one-on-one that destroys friendships game, and I'm gonna win. And you're just like, Emily, we don't need to do that. She's like, I'm gonna win, and just every time. Yeah, don't play. Anybody that knows the game Ticket to Ride, don't play that with Emily.
Yeah. I mean, when you think about it, that was my first time playing, and I almost won.
That's just there you go. And Settlers of Catan. You should do a Settlers of Catan stream. That'd be funny.
Yeah, we should play.
I might sit that one out. I might be the commentator on that one.
Oh my gosh.
I'm just going in for the clay.
Okay, before we get it, well, actually, I guess we'll look at some of the questions because I feel like there's more.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Queen Tiger said, Chazz, could you describe your friendship with Emily?
I'd say suppressed, fearful. Whenever she's in the room, I get scared. No, no, I'd say it's really cool. Although she did decide to do the huge move after college, and at a time where we weren't really talking to each other, we were able to be like,
go into why that is.
Better not. No, no. Basically, I was dating somebody who was a very controlling kind of person. I'm not going to sit there and say like she was the worst, because I definitely had traits that I had on my own that I didn't raise the bar, like do certain things I should have done. So I sort of fell into this weird state where I like drifted away from friends, and she was kind of wanting me to stay away from them, but also it was just me not like.
She
yeah, I mean,
she didn't like me whatsoever.
Yeah, that happened. But basically, after a breakup, I decided, I was like, yeah, I should probably message Emily, because I feel a little bad for like things I did, things I do, and all that. So I was able to rekindle the fire. But yeah, and things didn't really change from that, like when we first met, and then there was that like weird gray area, and then there's now. I feel like the first part and now are sort of like the same level. Like there's nothing really crazy. So I think describing an actual friendship, it's really cool. Say we have a lot of fun. Generally, it's whenever we get together, it's with a group of friends, because now you live outside the state, so it's kind of like it's kind of a big deal when you come here. No, it's fine. But yeah, I'd say it's pretty cool. I'm not really good at answering that question, I guess. I don't know. In depth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Chazz is I mean, the way I would describe our friendship is, I mean, he kind of said it well, is we became friends because, I mean, initially we became friends because of Model European Union. I invited my class to join the club, and he was one of the first people that did. He was also one of the first people I interviewed for Unapologetic Faces, which I actually still have your interview on my phone.
Oh, don't leak that.
Yeah, a lot of things have changed since that interview, but and then we just kind of like started hanging out as a group, one-on-one. We did some crazy stuff with Pokemon Go when that was a thing.
Oh wow. That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. We've had like mostly ups, but yeah, when he was dating a certain individual, especially like, yeah, she didn't like me whatsoever. It was one of those things where I knew from the start she didn't like me. And so she kind of prevented him from hanging out with friends, but probably me specifically. And after that, he did contact me, and I still remember like when you showed up during that, not this previous Christmas, but the Christmas before.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, it just seemed like everything was normal. It didn't even seem like we weren't ever not friends. And then, yeah, I feel like we're actually stronger because of that. And Chazz is, again, one of the kindest people I know. He's very, like, he really cares about other people. And he's very family oriented, and he's extremely funny. And basically, he gets along with pretty much anybody. Obviously, there's people that don't like me, and there's people that don't like you, but for the most part, I feel like you're not really as polarizing as I can be sometimes.
Okay.
So I feel like I can be a pretty polarizing person sometimes.
Okay. Yeah. I think it says a lot, the fact that it was able to go from like where it was to rekindle and everything. I think it says a lot. Because like not too many people would do that, or some people would just drift away forever kind of deal. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do like one of the questions I saw was what Middle Eastern descent am I? That's great. I like that. Unfortunately, if I am, I don't know. I guess I don't know if I appear Middle Eastern. Maybe that'd be pretty
I
cool.
think
I
with
guess in
the
a way we all kind of are because that was really Mesopotamia and all that. But yeah, I'm not really. I don't know if I am.
Oh, interesting. Sheila W said, if someone said you were getting chubby, would you go on a diet ASAP?
Ooh, me?
Yeah.
Man, I think so. So the way I am, I was even thinking that back in January when we were talking about our goals and I wanted to be more fit. If I do kind of make myself like feel late, like it's already a trait of mine. I mentioned I do like video games, but I can't sit there and play them like all day. I'd have to at some point get up and do something. So I just feel too cooped up and like lazy, I guess. And I guess it might even go back to like when I was like bullied for it. I just always, I guess I have like this fear, but it's not like too crazy because I know like for a long time in like high school and everything, when I had like a growth spurt, I was actually underweight for majority of it. And a lot of people thought I was anorexic. I can prove that wrong because I love food. Uh, but yeah, so it kind of is like a fear of mine. I would probably start exercising if that was the case. I feel like that's accurate because that's what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah.
Which, yeah, Chazz and a couple other friends and I are kind of doing a fitness thing for
Hey,
2019. But
heck yeah.
yeah, because we're going to Bonnaroo, but also just a
Oh,
choice.
you revealed it. I thought it
Yeah,
was a
I mean, I've
secret or
already talked
something.
about it.
Oh, you have? Oh, it's gonna be so good. That lineup looks fun.
What are your hobbies?
Man, my hobbies. I mentioned video games, and in a way, I've tried doing Twitch streaming. So I tried making that a hobby. Kind of fallen off of it a lot, just because with my full-time job, I just feel like it's kind of hard to balance. Which is something I could learn from Emily because you're able to balance all that. It's crazy. So that's really cool with your YouTube hobby. But in terms of that, when it's summertime, I really like to swim. I just love being near a pool or water or something. I really love the ocean. So I do that. I'm trying to make exercising a hobby. That's hard too. um, and then if it's, I guess it goes along with exercising. I really do like hiking or like walking is really fun. I'm trying to think of other things. Not too many hobbies. I've done like one-off things that I'd like in the future to be a hobby because like that'd be sweet. Uh, yeah. No, I think I covered most of them. Yeah, I mostly like play video games and stuff.
Well, this kind of goes into it. Nick said, Chaz, what video game do you consider most to be a work of art and why?
Oh wow. Man, that's pretty good. A work of art. I really like one of my favorite all-time games, and I could say that now because I just always love it and still love it, is Civilization 5. So basically it's combining like history and it still has the realism aspect to it. Like other ones are kind of cartoony. This one has realism in it. And the way it like the whole history behind it and the way like the world is and all that stuff, I really enjoy because one, I love history and I love strategy games. And that one takes you through like all of mankind kind of deal, like from the beginning, like agricultural revolution all the way to space age. And I love it. It's still such a great game. That'd have to be that one. Yeah.
Um, what would you say is your favorite genre of music, or like what kind of musical artists do you like listening to?
Oh god, this one always tricks people. Uh, so I do vary a lot. I'm not gonna sit there and say like I enjoy everything because like everyone does that. For a while, like in high school and stuff, I really got into electronic music because I don't know why. I just remember listening to it one day and I was just like, oh my god. And at the time I absolutely loved Skrillex. He was awesome. And Dead Mouse, he was awesome. And so I was able to like live through that kind of golden age of that, and that was awesome. That was great. But now I'd say recently, even still, I do listen to a lot of oldies a lot too, because my mom and dad grew up with that music, and I just really appreciate it because of all the things they brought together. So that's really cool. But I'd say honestly, the one I listen to the most, I have to admit, is rap slash like trap music. It really throws people off, but I just love it. It's so cool, and some artists can really. It's really cool to me because not only do I like the like bass sound and all that, but the like story you can hear through them just saying it, or like the slang. If you learn the slang of everything, it all means something and it's all derived from something. And it really sounds weird to be like, wow, that music has like, it literally swears and talks about like all these horrible things. But like, there's also like a struggle in there that I love it. It's so good. It's really weird.
No, I mean, I listen to some of that as well.
Yeah. But oh yeah, for favorite artists in those genres, oldies, I definitely always go back to Led Zeppelin. They're awesome. And with recent trap music, God, it's a whole range of things. I really enjoy Drake. I was really glad to see him live. Childish Gambino is really good fun. Kendrick Lamar is also really great. I saw Future at Bonnaroo, and oh man, his music's just fun to listen to. Like, I have to admit it. Yeah.
Yep. We're gonna have fun at Bonnaroo, that's for sure.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Okay. Joe Shabadoo said, describe your daily routine / lack thereof.
It's my daily routine just for like every day.
Yeah.
So basically, like get out of bed. No, just kidding. But that could be a struggle because you're like, God, I really don't want to get out of bed. But what I do is I set 2 alarms on my phone. I generally get up after a little bit after the second one goes off. And then I get up and immediately like shower just to wake myself up and warm myself up because it's winter. And then I'll sort of get into like clothes and like go ahead and eat breakfast. I always remember to eat breakfast just because I love food, so I love breakfast. And 2, it just sucks when you don't eat breakfast. So I do that, and then I'll just brush my teeth, go to work. So my commute to work is actually hour 30 minutes. I almost died. Where's my water? Here it is. Yeah, the commute to work is an hour and 30 minutes one way. So I have to plan enough time to get there. So that takes up a lot of the day. And through that, it's really just keeping up at work with like tasks and everything like that. And then in terms of weekends, I'll sleep in. Like, I'm not perfect. And I just sort of hang out, sort of recharge the batteries. I heard one of my professors talk about. He actually talked about personality types in a business management course, which is kind of cool. Because actually, even then, the whole time I was like, wow, Emily would really appreciate this. He said he seems such like an extroverted guy, and he's actually introverted. And he's like, every day I have to do my own thing and get home and just recharge, like watch videos, Netflix, something. Like, I gotta chill. So I definitely do a lot of that on the weekend. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, good answer.
Yeah.
Sheila W., do you leap before you look, or do you think about the consequences of your actions and hold?
Sorry, I think I just drank dust. Sorry. I'd say I really do think about consequences a lot. I do have that sort of overthinking weakness, I'd say. And whenever people describe your weaknesses, I'd say overthinking is a big one. Just because I will analyze the situation and be like, okay, is that really the right thing to do? What happens if I do it and something bad will happen? Like, I guess I won't find out until I do it. But so I do that a lot. So I guess I definitely side with the overthink like consequences and all that. Yeah.
Cool. All right, let's see. I don't know. Okay.
Oh.
It said, Jeffrey Sherman said, whoa, do you work in Alabama, Florida or something? That's a huge feat. Jeffrey, I don't know how familiar you Jeffrey, are you from I don't think you're from the US.
Yeah.
Wrong, but that's actually not that crazy of a I mean, it is a crazy commute, but that's a typical commute for people that live in Georgia that work in Atlanta.
Yeah. It's
Because the
unfortunate.
traffic is one of the worst in the whole country.
Yeah, it rated either number 6 or number 4 in one of the worst cities list, and number 1 being LA. So yeah.
Yeah. So just driving, there's like this meme where it's like it takes an hour to get to Atlanta from Atlanta.
Yeah, it's pretty accurate. But I will say, crap, I actually forgot what I was gonna say. There you go. Oh crap. Where did it go? I just lost that thought. Yeah, driving here is a little different. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. So today is technically a holiday.
Sorry, from Louisiana. Okay.
Oh.
I feel like you might have said that before, Jeffrey. Yeah, but Atlanta's way different. Sorry, go on, Chazz.
I was just gonna add that since today was technically like a holiday for some people, like I didn't have it off, but a lot of people did. 30 minutes was shaved off my commute time.
Wow.
So 30 minutes of that is traffic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is pretty crazy. Yeah,
pretty
happy
wild.
MLK Day for everybody.
Yeah. Really cool.
So also Brenna Lee said, at Emily, are you going to reveal his type at the end? I don't know what his type is. And I don't think you've ever taken the test, have you?
I think no, I didn't. No. I was supposed to in that class, but I didn't.
Really?
Yeah. It was not for a grade, but it was just like a side thing you could do.
Okay.
Because he actually linked it, and I was like, oh my god, but I didn't do it because I'm weird.
And annoying. Because how many times
okay.
How many times have I asked you to take the test?
At least over 6. That's fine. Can you guess who? It's mystery.
Yeah, you guys should totally give him some big questions.
Oh boy,
People
I did see
that you seem like an ESFP, but again, you don't know what that is.
Extrovert. I don't know.
Yeah, extroverted.
I know the last one's judging for J.
No, P.
I know. I don't know what P is. Passive.
Perceiving.
See.
And then F is feeling.
I'm probably like the least informed person on your channel. Everyone else is like, yeah, I definitely agree with that. Like, no, they're probably like, wow, this guy is just.
Brenna Lee, that is a very good. That is very good. What she just suggested.
Uh-oh.
I actually was thinking about doing that. Sheila W wanted to ask if you're a procrastinator.
Oh, yes, but I stress myself out doing it. So with that whole thing with group projects, going back to that, I will be like, hey, I want to get this done like pretty soon and stuff. But also I'll look into the week and be like, all right, there's a few days here I have some leeway. But I'd say when it gets like maybe a week out or a few days out from the due date, I just get so like driven to be like, I have to finish, like I have to sit down and do this. And I literally did that with a project one time for like 8 hours straight. It was kind of scary. I woke up in the morning, started working, and then when people were like, hey, want to hang out? It was like nighttime outside. And I was like, oh my God. So I do procrastinate. And if I do it for too long, I just get really like worked up and I have to not rush it, but just work on it constantly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am definitely a procrastinator for sure. I feel like I'm a way bigger procrastinator than you are.
I guess you did prove me wrong in that class because like I thought you were reading the textbook and knew everything, and you're just like, no, I didn't read it. It's like, why does he call on me? I can't believe it. He's like, well, everyone else in here has read the book, and everyone's just like nodding their heads. I'm like, traitors. No, you didn't read. That book was so dry.
I wouldn't nod my head typically if I didn't read it.
I like history, but that was actually a very dry book. Like, that was not enjoyable.
Yeah, I wouldn't know.
Wow, good job.
I really was not.
Probably made a higher grade than me too, to be honest.
I wish that I studied more. That's the thing. I wish I tried more in school because I didn't really try a lot.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wish a wish upon this rock.
Okay, Chazz. I'm just pulling up, just a typical
Don't pull up the little test. I already know
questionnaire.
what you're doing here.
Okay.
Oh my god.
You find it difficult to introduce yourself.
This is why I didn't want to do this. No, just kidding. We'll prove it here, folks.
Okay, so there's a sliding scale.
Okay.
Guys, by the way, I'm doing this off of 16personalities.com.
Is that verified?
The dreaded test.
How long is the test? Can I ask that?
Well, we're gonna take it quickly.
Okay, go ahead. Oh my god.
It doesn't have to be long. Okay. So there's like I'm gonna show screen share with you because you are not as familiar.
I am not. Wait, what did somebody say? That was great. No ego and be honest. No ego. That's great.
Okay, can you see it?
Yeah.
All right, so where would you say you would be?
Oh, you find yourself difficult to introduce to others? I'd say disagree, because I'm pretty...
This one?
Yeah. So I'm pretty easy to introduce to people.
Okay.
So thoughts that you ignore or forget your surroundings. I'd say the first little disagree. Yeah. Try responding to emails as soon as possible and cannot stand a messy inbox. So I want to say agree, but not. It's going to be the small agree because let's be honest, my inbox is messy.
That's funny. I have to look at every single message. I do not. I mean, there might be a couple, but I really do not. I cannot have my inbox even have a notification whatsoever.
Well,
and I typically respond.
Not all of us are weird. So.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. No, I kind of feel that same stress, but not as much.
Okay.
You find it easy to stay relaxed even when there's some pressure. Oh yeah.
So agree.
Actually, do the second one. That'd be pretty accurate. Yeah. You do not usually initiate conversations. Disagree. I usually do.
This one?
Yeah. You rarely do something just out of sheer curiosity. I'd say the second disagree because I do things out of curiosity.
Okay.
Feel superior to other people? No, but I'd put it probably the second one.
This one?
Because of when I'm driving, I see other people the way they drive. Yeah. Being organized is more important to you than being adaptable. It's more important to you than being adaptable. I'd say the smallest. Well, actually, I'd say the smallest disagree because I like being organized, but sometimes I have an organized mess going, and I really like to be adaptable to things.
Okay.
You're usually highly motivated and energetic. Yes, all the way. Winning a debate matters less to you than making sure no one gets upset. Oh, man. Yeah, I don't like to upset people, but I'd put it at the second agree, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I know. You often feel as if you have to justify yourself to other people. Yeah, you usually do feel that way.
So this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Your home and work environments are quite tidy. Yeah, I'd say so. Probably like, yeah, that one's good.
This one?
Do that one, yeah. Do the second one. Second. Yeah. Cool. You not mind being at the center of attention? I do not mind, yeah.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm fine with it. Consider yourself more practical than creative. Oh man, I'd actually probably do the smallest disagree because I'm pretty practical, but I like being creative too. People can rarely upset you. No, they can upset me.
This one?
No, it'd be people can rarely upset you. I'd say second disagree. People can upset me.
Wow.
They can.
That's funny because I'm like, I would say I'm more on this side. Anyways, go ahead.
I can control it, but they upset me.
Yeah.
Your travel plans are usually well thought out. Yes, agree. I actually wanted to ask you about our soon-to-be trip.
Oh yeah, we need to talk about that.
Yeah. It is often difficult for you to relate to other people's feelings. Not at all. I can relate to people.
Disagree.
Yeah. Your mood can change very quickly. I'd put that at the smallest disagree because it doesn't change very quickly. I heard a laugh.
No, I was just.
I was about to say, don't laugh at me.
No, I wasn't laughing.
In a discussion, truth should be more important than people's sensitivities. Truth should be more important than people's sensitivities. I do smallest disagree. I think you need to read the room.
Yeah.
You rarely worry about how your actions affect other people. No, disagree. I think about how my actions affect people all the time. Yeah.
Okay.
Work style is closer to random energy spikes than to a methodical and organized approach. No, it's closer to more organized, but not super. So I guess that would be, that's in the disagree, right?
Oh wait, sorry.
Yeah, second disagree.
Okay.
Yeah. You are often envious of others. No, I do disagree. Smallest one, because
this one?
Yeah, wait your turn is my mindset. You know, one day it'll be me. Fine. An interesting book or video game is often better than a social event. Oh man. I'd say I've gotten better at this, so I'd say smallest agree. It only happens rarely, but I will usually be like, no, I need to go hang out with people rather than do that. Okay. And then people able to develop a plan and stick to it is the more important part of every project. Yeah. It's pretty good. I'd say agree on that, yeah.
Okay.
Really get carried away by fantasies and ideas. Smallest disagree. Yeah, you often find yourself lost in thought when you are walking in nature. Oh. Yeah, do the second agree. So I do like walking in nature. Get lost out there. Someone does not respond to your email quickly, you start worrying if you said something wrong. Yes. Switch the word email to text and do second agree. So I do worry about that. As a parent, you would rather see your child grow up kind than smart? I don't really know. I think I want them to be kind and smart. Man.
You can always do like the middle one.
I guess do the middle option on that one because that one is a little stumpy. You do not let other people influence your actions. I'd say smallest disagree because sometimes I will, but I am generally pretty good about it. When you sleep, your dreams tend to focus on the real world and its events. Smallest disagree. They're pretty random. It's not take you much time to start getting involved in social activities or your new workplace. Yeah, it doesn't. I agree. I actually went to so far every social outing, I think. You are more of a natural improviser than a careful planner. Yes. I'd say, well, I kind of carefully plan things, so I guess put it at the smallest degree. Yeah. Your emotions control you more than you control them. I disagree on that. I can control them. Yeah, I control them. You enjoy going to social events that involve dress up or role play activities. Ooh, what? Fancy. I don't really enjoy those, but they're fun to do. So I guess I'd do the middle, the NA option, because like no, like the actual.
Oh, this one?
The Knoll, yeah, because like I don't enjoy them more than other ones, but they're still fun. You often spend time exploring unrealistic and impractical yet intriguing ideas. Smallest degree. Yeah. You'd rather improvise than spend time coming up with a detailed plan. That's also smallest degree, because I really do both. That's a reserved and quiet person. Emily said yes.
Well, at first, at least.
Yeah. I'd say smallest degree, because I am at first around new people. When I open up, it's different. Yeah. If you had a business, you would find it very difficult to fire loyal but under employees. Oh man. I'd say smallest degree. It would suck, but I'd still probably do it. You often contemplate the reasons for human existence. Not often. No. I'd say like small not yeah, second disagree. That's it. Logic is usually more important than heart when it comes to making important decisions. Now, both Logic the artist and Heart the band are pretty good.
Oh my gosh.
But had to do it. Logic is more important than Heart when it comes to making important decisions. I'd say smallest degree, because you still have to consider some feelings and some actions. Keeping your options open is more important than having a to-do list. Yeah, I agree to that. I usually don't keep to-do list. Yeah, I don't really keep to-do lists. I'll just like go with the flow. If your friend is sad about something, you're more likely to offer emotional support than suggest ways to deal with the problem. Yeah, I do second degree. I usually am more emotional support. You rarely feel insecure. Oh, that's not true. I probably do second disagree. You have no difficulties kind of with the personal timetable and sticking to it. I'll do smallest degree, because there are some difficulties with it. So
you
yeah.
said smallest degree?
Yeah. I'm glad you know the system. It's great. Smallest degree. Being right is more important than being cooperative when it comes to teamwork. No, disagree, because I had a guy like that and I did not like him. Yeah, you have to be cooperative, people. You think that everyone's views should be respected regardless of whether they are supported by facts or not. Ooh, that's a hard one, because I think of really controversial things, and like facts on both sides can be I'll do the smallest degree, because I do like everyone to be open and say like, that's their view and have that freedom. But they can be wrong in my view as well, so do that. You feel more energetic after spending time with a group of people. Yeah. I feel pretty energetic. Yeah. Yeah. You frequently misplace your things. I've actually gotten better at this too, so I'd say second disagree. Used to always lose my keys. Now I don't anymore. It's great. Knock on wood. There we go. You see yourself as very emotionally stable. Yeah, I agree. Yep. Your mind is always buzzing with unexplored ideas and plans. Not always buzzing, so I'd say like smallest degree. You would not call yourself a dreamer. Is it referring like big goals, like a dream, like I want to achieve my dreams kind of thing?
It could be whatever you want it to be.
Whoa. Okay. You would not call yourself a dreamer? I'd say smallest disagree. Okay, you usually find it difficult to relax when talking in front of many people. No, I disagree.
This one?
Yeah, I'm pretty chill once I get the room going. See, I still get like stage fright and stuff, but
Yeah.
generally speaking, you rely more on your experience than your imagination. Imagination. Yeah, I do second agree because I do like to find out the facts on things sometimes before I speak on it and all that. You worry too much about what other people think. Yes,
This?
I do. Yeah, I do worry too much about that. If the room is full, you stay closer to the walls, avoiding the center. I guess that's like more of like a crowd thing. I don't know, because I can do both, and I'm comfortable in both. So I'd say if it's fully stay closer to the walls, I'd probably say like smallest degree, yeah. Generally, because I don't want to get in the middle of like a mosh pit. You have a tendency to procrastinate until there's not enough time to do everything. I'm gonna go ahead and say smallest disagree because there's definitely plenty. The way I procrastinate is different. I'll freak out when there's 3 days left to do it. You feel very anxious in stressful situations. Second agree, yeah. To get anxious. You believe that it is more rewarding to be liked by others than to be powerful. Yeah, I agree with that.
This one?
Yeah, if you were like all powerful and didn't like people didn't like you, that would suck.
So this would be me.
Who has that? I want to
Okay,
be
I'm just
powerful.
kidding. No, I probably.
History will absolve me. Oh my god. You have always been interested in unconventional, ambiguous things in books, art, and movies. Oh, like not the mainstream kind of deal. Smallest degree, because I do like some giant like mainstream stuff. So, yeah. You often take initiative in social situations. I'd say smallest degree because not always.
All
I like to
right.
hear, yeah, like a lot of people say.
So, Chazz, we're about
Yeah.
to reveal the results. The thing
I'm
about
scared.
the thing
Yeah.
about this test, actually, I want to see the comments and see if anybody has any ideas.
Okay.
Um,
Someone said, "Are we trusting the garbage test?"
yeah, this is a garbage test, by the way. I use this as a baseline, but I'll see what happens.
Okay, see, you already have like an idea. I see a
don't.
lot of people said ESFP, whatever that is.
Okay, let's see.
Okay, let's see if they're right. If they called it, you guys are
You
like
got
crazy.
ENFJ. You got 76% extroverted,
Whoa, crazy. Okay,
53% intuitive,
I'm a protagonist.
78% feeler,
Okay,
63% judging, and 57% turbulent.
is that really off from what you thought?
No,
All
it's
these
not.
years?
It's not that all.
Really?
It's not that all.
Really? Okay.
But I wasn't sure what you are. But this is interesting. That means that we're sister types. We're in the same
Sister
quadrant.
types.
Okay.
Interesting. Okay. Well, there you go, everybody. I didn't know that. So.
Okay, so would you like to read through? And we're not saying that he's 100% this, but this
Pretty good estimate-ish.
could be
What's the T stand for?
turbulent.
Turbulent.
But you can either be assertive or turbulent. That's just this stupid test that does that. That's not even.
Oh, okay. I was about to say
Don't
that's a little
even
weird.
look at that. Like, basically disregard this thing. But if you guys want to know, I'm on the assertive side.
Whoa. Crazy. Crazy.
All right.
All right, I'll read it. Protagonists are natural-born leaders, full of passion and charisma, forming around 2% of the population. They are oftentimes our politicians, our coaches, and our teachers, reaching out and inspiring others to achieve and do good in the world with a natural confidence that begets influence. Protagonists take a great deal of pride and joy in guiding others to work together to improve themselves and their community. Man, that's really like hyping. It's pretty good. Firm believers in the people, man. I mean, I don't have that like hairstyle or like a cape or anything, but like that's, you know.
Kind of did when you were younger.
Oh no. I mean, I probably have that guy's like stash in the corner. It's pretty cool.
This one?
Are they not? Why aren't they focusing on the dragon? That's scary. Yeah, the stash. Oh man, it's pretty good. Did you want me to like read all that stuff?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay. I wasn't aware I was in class again. Okay. Firm believers in the people. People are drawn to strong personalities, and protagonists radiate authenticity, concern, and altruism. Unafraid to stand up and speak when they feel something needs to be said. They find it natural and easy to communicate with others, especially in person. And their intuitive and trait helps people with the protagonist personality type to reach every mind, be it through facts and logic or raw emotion. Protagonists especially see people's motivations in seemingly disconnected events and are able to bring these ideas together and communicate them as a common goal with an eloquence that is nothing short of mesmerizing. The interest protagonists, is that interest? Yeah, interest protagonists have in others is genuine, almost to a fault. When they believe in someone, they can become too involved in the other person's problems, place too much trust in them. Luckily, this trust tends to be a self-fulfilling prophecy, as protagonists' altruism and authenticity inspire those they care about to become better themselves. But if they aren't careful, they can overextend their optimism, sometimes pushing others further than they're ready or willing to go. Protagonists are vulnerable to another snare as well. They have a tremendous capacity for reflecting on and analyzing their own feelings, but if they get too caught up in another person's plight, they can develop a sort of emotional hypochondria, seeing other people's problems in themselves, trying to fix something in themselves that isn't wrong. If they get to a point where they are held back by limitations someone else is experiencing, it can hinder protagonist's ability to see past the dilemma and be of any help at all. When this happens, it's important for protagonists to pull back and use that self-reflection to distinguish between what they really feel and what is a separate issue that needs to be looked at from another perspective. Huh. Okay. It's very still hype.
Wait, Chazz, do you think this sounds like you or no?
I'd say when it says like I need to be like the first part, like to say something in like a group of people, I don't know if that part's super accurate. I do like the fact that it's saying like want to be like inspirational to like a big group of people and stuff, because I guess I find that through like comedy or just hanging out with people, I like to leave a positive impact. So I find that true. But yeah, not always like it's always saying like controlling the situation. I don't know about that. But with the downfall is being too involved with somebody's like plight, like it's talking about. I've experienced that. So yeah, I feel like that's pretty accurate. Oh boy. Do I have to read that box ahead? Or like oh, protagonists you may know, Barack Obama, Oprah Winfrey, John
these
Cusack.
aren't necessarily right. I would definitely say Oprah is, but not so much some of the others. All right, strengths and weaknesses. We're not going to go through all of this, but
okay. So these are strengths?
Yeah, these are your strengths.
Did you want me to read all these?
Okay, so it says tolerant, reliable, charismatic, altruistic, natural leaders, and then the weaknesses are overly idealistic, too selfless, too sensitive, fluctuating self-esteem, struggle to make tough decisions. Do you think
that? Yeah, no, those sound pretty accurate too. Yeah. Tough decisions can be hard to do. Too sensitive, I found. Yeah, that's been like a downfall, and selfless has been a thing where people like there's a ton of people out there that really will take advantage of that. If you show too much of it to somebody, they'll take advantage of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, that stuff does sound pretty accurate.
Well, though. Actually, so INFJs are known for reading a room.
Okay, cool.
Also, it's funny because I do believe my sister's an ISTJ, which is your negative opposite. So it makes sense about my sister's perspective on you.
Yeah, okay.
You guys are like the least compatible people.
Oh, okay. Dang. There you go. What does it mean when you're a sister or whatever?
Oh, a sister type?
Sister type, yeah.
Well, I'm an INFJ, so that means that we share the same cognitive functions, but in a different order.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Interesting.
we're very similar in some ways, but we.
I'm a slow walker, but I never walk back. Thanks, guy. That's fun. Oh, this is talking about dating? Oh, shit.
Yeah.
It's probably like, be warned, you will be taken advantage of. In a dark age will go upon thee.
Okay, I think you should wait. We'll just kind of read through. I mean, if you can, so be so kind.
Yeah. Do you want like the like storybook thing again, or do you want me just to read it like plainly?
Go ahead and talk from your experience.
From my experience.
Yeah. Like, I mean, how would you describe yourself in relationship and like how you view relationships?
Oh, before I read it, I describe myself as like, yeah, I really want to show that I'm pretty awesome to the other person because I really appreciate them. So definitely I'm one of those people that's like, I guess when they say like you're pretty selfless, like, yeah, I want to put all my energy into that person. But I also at the same time, I think a downfall that happens with me is I really will overthink situations where it could even be like not even a big deal. But to me, I'm like, wow, I really did that. Like, hopefully they don't think of me like the wrong way because I did that. So I want to show that I'm capable without like pushing too hard, I guess. But also, I'm trying to learn, and I've actually taken a huge break from dating, or at least being in a serious relationship. But I do know I really want to work on being a little bit more assertive, but not to the point where I'm like controlling. So yeah.
Yeah. What would you say is your ideal relationship?
Ideal relationship, I'd say somebody that's like really fun and I can like build off of. Somebody that I could have like fun experiences with, and really somebody that's really just as into me as I am to them. So like, because I feel like, I don't know, I feel like sometimes I'll really like, I don't know, in situations like even just casual dating, I'll do something really awesome for a person and they're just like, oh, that was cool. And I'm like, cool. Like, really awesome? Or are you just like, what? So yeah, I really want to experience that because I feel like my relationships, it hasn't really been, I don't know, I feel like it's not one-sided, but like I just want to have that person really care about me in that way. Yeah.
Definitely deserves someone like that. Yeah, Chazz has done some pretty lofty acts for girls that he's into. It's true.
All right, I like having fun.
He is like bought like, I mean, yeah, you're just like, what are some of the things you've done for girls in the past?
I guess biggest thing is like concert tickets, but I feel like that's, you know, not too big. I will say for an anniversary with a long-term relationship, we plan to stay at the W overnight. So we did that, and then I booked at the time. If you remember, do you remember the movie Baby Driver?
Mm-hmm.
So in Baby Driver, there's a scene where he likes that girl and he takes her out to a really fancy restaurant. And I wanted to find out, since it was filmed in Atlanta, what that restaurant was. So I did research and found out it's a restaurant called Bacchanalia. So I got a reservation a month in advance there because it's like really posh and crazy. But that's where we had our anniversary dinner. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess, I don't know. I thought that was pretty big action.
Yeah, it was pretty big.
On the Starbucks check.
Okay, so would you like to read this?
Sure. Protagonist relationships. People who share the protagonist personality type feel most at home when they're in a relationship, and few types are more eager to establish a loving commitment with their chosen partners. Protagonists take dating and relationships seriously, selecting partners with an eye towards the long haul rather than the more casual approach that might be expected from some types in the explorer role group. There's really no greater joy for protagonists than to help along the goals of someone they care about, and the interweaving of lives that a committed relationship represents is the perfect opportunity to do just that. Oh man, I feel like, yeah, that's pretty agreeable. So awkward, I never walk back. Even in the dating phase, people with the protagonist personality type are ready to show their commitment by taking the time and effort to establish themselves as dependable, trustworthy partners. Nice. The intuitive N trait helps them to keep up with the rapidly shifting moods that are common early in relationships, but protagonists will still rely on conversations about their mutual feelings, checking the pulse of the relationship by asking how things are and if there's anything else they can do. While this can help to keep conflict, which protagonists abhor, to a minimum, they also risk being overbearing or needy. Protagonists should keep in mind that sometimes the only thing that's wrong is being asked what's wrong too often. Protagonists don't need to be happy, just to know that their partner is happy, and for their partner to express that happiness through visible affection. Making others' goals come to fruition is often the chiefest concern to protagonists, and they will spare no effort in helping their partner to live the dream. If they aren't careful enough, protagonists' quest for their partner's satisfaction can leave them neglecting their own needs, and it's important for them to remember to express those needs on occasion, especially early on. Man, cannot escape the responsibility of tomorrow by evading it today. Protagonists' tendency to avoid any kind of conflict, sometimes even sacrificing their own principles to keep the peace, can lead to long-term problems if these efforts never fully resolve the underlying issues that they mask. On the other hand, people with the protagonist personality type can sometimes be too preemptive in resolving the conflicts, asking for criticism, suggestions, in ways that convey neediness or insecurity. Protagonists invest their emotions wholly in their relationships and are sometimes so eager to please it that it actually undermines the relationship. This can lead to resentment and even the failure of the relationship. When this happens, protagonists experience strong senses of guilt and betrayal as they see all their efforts slip away. Potential partners appreciate these qualities, though, and make an effort themselves to look after the needs of their protagonist partners. They will enjoy long, happy, passionate relationships. Protagonists are known to be dependable lovers, perhaps more interested in routine and stability than spontaneity. I can't do it. Spontaneity, right? Spontaneity in their sex lives, but always dedicated to the selfless satisfaction of their partners. Ultimately, protagonist personality types believe that the only true happiness is mutual happiness, and that's the stuff successful relationships are made of. Man, it's a lot of reading. I haven't had to do this in forever. Man.
Yeah, I feel like, actually, Chaz, I feel like this is, so I don't know. This is something that's been a struggle for a while, kind of realizing what your type is. And I mean, even though I really hate that website, you might actually be an ENFJ.
ENFJ, yeah. Okay. I mean, I feel it's kind of accurate. The relationship part and all that seems pretty on, not on point, but like pretty accurate. Like, yeah, I do strive to like really make the best out of the relationship and all that. But if it falls apart, man, oh man, take it pretty hard. So yeah. There you go, everybody. Reveal. Personality reveal. Whoa. There you go. Nice, nice.
Yeah, so what do you guys think of that?
Pretty good. Oh, someone said my room is immaculate? Oh, thanks. My God. It's great. Just ignore the two huge beanbag chairs that are shoved over there. Man.
Okay. Saham asked, question, apart from Adventure Time, do you like any other cartoons?
Oh yeah, the Adventure Time. Yeah, so I grew up on cartoons, so I really do enjoy a lot of them. In recent times, I haven't really watched a lot of them, but like back when I used to watch like, you know, Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network and all that. Yeah, I used to watch like all the old school shows like Rugrats, Angry Beavers, Cat Dog, and then Cartoon Network was like Edda and Eddie. Even the newer stuff like Chowder and Flapjack were hilarious. I got my dad to love Flapjack, and that was awesome. But yeah, cartoons are pretty cool. SpongeBob's always been a huge one too. Like I know a lot of kids now like it because there's like new stuff. But I was there for like when it first started. So there you go. Yeah, cartoons are pretty bomb. There you go. Boom, boom.
Yeah. Do you guys have any other questions for Chazz? Or Chazz, do you have any questions for me?
Question. Oh, the tables have turned. Let me move the table right here. No, just kidding. Man. Well, I did mention our trip, but I can't share those details. So.
I mean, it's okay.
I would ask that.
Is it really that bad that we say where we're going or no?
No, not really. It was just like the details of it.
Yeah,
like,
not the details, but.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
Would you like to talk about that besides the details?
It was mostly just about lodging where we're staying. I was wondering like who's picking that up. That was my thing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
We should probably do that.
Yeah, like that's not fun to talk about. That's like, wow, that's like dumb stuff to talk about. People want to see the video when you're in Nashville or whatever.
Yeah, well, that's the fun part. We're going to Nashville in March.
Yeah. Yeah. It's fine to say where we're going. Like, I don't really mind.
Yeah, so if anybody lives in the Tennessee area, that would be cool if we met up.
Oh yeah, Team 10 meet and greet.
Oh my gosh.
That's what's on the back of the shirt, by the way. Team 10.
What was your favorite subject in school and why?
Oh man, it's a pretty easy question for me. It was definitely history. I'm a huge, I guess it's called history buff. I don't know why they call it anyway. But the reason being is because when I grew up, my dad's really into that stuff. And he'd always leave like History Channel on. So I'd be watching like alongside cartoons I just described, I'd be watching History Channel, just weird. But yeah, even today, like I'll literally chill out in my room and watch history documentaries just because it's so interesting. But yeah, the reason being is because I just grew up with history and I really appreciate it. And just looking back on people, what we've done and accomplished and what's happened really describes the situation today. So I really like tying all that back. Like it's really interesting to me. And on top of that, bonus, my favorite subject is World War II. So yeah. Boom.
Yeah, we both share a love for World War II.
Hey, I got a collection too.
Ooh.
I could show that off right now.
Yeah, go ahead.
People want to do that? I might have to get up and do it. Okay.
Yeah, do it.
Where did that stuff go?
What?
Oh, I found it. Okay. I was like, where did I put it? Okay.
I'm going to talk about Nashville because Faye, the ENFJ, who's also an ENFJ, if you truly are an ENFJ, Chazz, asked what's the draw to Nashville.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So I'll answer that, and if you want to answer it when you get back. So Nashville, I was wondering the same thing when I first kind of went to Nashville. The first time I went to Nashville was like 5 years ago. My mom actually moved there. And Chazz actually went to Nashville like at my mom's house when my mom used to live there. But yeah, Nashville, people assume it's like all country people. That's mostly Broadway Street, which is downtown. I would say Nashville is one of the most hipster places to be. I don't know. I really like Nashville's aesthetic. It's just really an interesting place. I just feel really at home. I actually, out of everywhere in the South area, from places I've been, I'd probably move to Nashville. I just absolutely was in love with it. I would say it's even more hipster than Seattle, if you're into that kind of thing. I always felt like Seattle was going to be like very alternative, but I found Seattle to almost be, everybody had the same aesthetic, or like they kind of all were kind of, I mean, not everybody, but there was more similarities with people in Seattle, like kind of people dressed the same. They didn't really care about their appearance and stuff like that. But in Nashville, people are very I find people are very unique. Again, not everybody in Seattle is like that. There's like some really cool people in Seattle, but also the music scene in Nashville is awesome. So yeah, I just really love everything. And my favorite coffee shop is in Nashville, Frothy Monkey. And you actually met Olin Rogers when you went to Nashville.
That was so cool. I love that so much. It was wild.
Yeah, we're gonna have fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be real cool.
We're gonna have funnels.
I'll go to the Frothy Monkey or whatever.
Yeah.
No. So unfortunately, I can't find two really cool pieces that technically aren't World War II. Well, one is, but I can't find them. One of them was a jump bag my grandpa had. He actually had in the Korean War, and it's his actual sack. Like, he had all his equipment in. So he took that over to when he was in Korea in the Korean War, and I thought that was really cool. And inside that was I have a World War II helmet, but I can't find it. So sorry, everybody.
Yeah.
But right here I have an ammo box. This is actually from NATO, though, so technically not World War II, but it's where I keep a couple items in here. It's really dusty and gross, but anyway. So yeah, we work these. Basically, if I remember how to open it. How do you open these things? Oh, you just pull it. You open it up. And one is a actual grenade. So this is the M4 or M1 grenade that the Allied forces used. And if you can see here, it's pretty cool that it's actually the core is out of it, meaning it's not going to detonate. So it's completely safe. But this is actually like metal. So it's supposed to be like a prop grenade, but I think it's actually a real one, and they just took the charge out of it. So that's cool. But most importantly, I'm proud of is this thing right here. This is what's called a jump map. And this was used for the Allied forces in the Pacific when they paradropped or even probably amphibious assaults. So it's a map. And it actually, I don't know if I'll be able to get this all, so I'm going to have to stand up. But basically, it's a good side to show. It shows all of the currents off the Japanese coast. It shows all the directions of the currents. So if you were to get marooned or off course, you could find where you were and see what current you have to ride to get to land. And what's cool about this is you can't tell because you're watching this, but it's not made of paper. It's made of waterproof material. So there you go.
Yeah.
That's crazy. It's wild, like holding stuff like this. Just like, I love it. Like, that's insane. Somebody used this for like survival.
You still have that Nazi manual that I gave you?
Oh my God. Yeah, I do. Freaking Emily broke the law in Germany and bought a Nazi whatever memorabilia or whatever.
Guys, I do not commend. I do not.
But yeah, that's a creepy piece. But yeah, that's around here somewhere too. But it's really interesting to see that.
Yeah. I just find it interesting. I do not.
Yeah. So sorry if anybody's like offended by weaponry, if that grenade kind of. But I think it's really cool.
Yeah.
It's cool. Yeah.
Also,
so, yeah.
Oh, by the way, Brenna Lee said Nashville reminds me of Hannah Montana, the movie.
Does she go to Nashville?
I don't know, but I would not say that's accurate.
Oh my God.
Nashville is not like a farmland type place. It's actually like it's suburban and there's a city.
Yeah.
I would say Nashville is actually very metropolitan in many ways. It's very alternative. There's very little country I mean, there is a lot of country in Nashville, but it's all like saturated into Broadway Street. But everywhere else is like alternative or like rock. Everything else is not country. And I would say a lot of people are pretty like, yeah, again, more alternative people, not really what you would expect.
Yeah.
I wanted to go to Nashville because I hate country music, or most country music I don't like.
Yeah.
There are some I like, but for the most part, I don't like country music. So I was like, oh, Mom, you're moving to Nashville back in the day. But then I ended up falling in love with Nashville. It's the best. I love it.
Yeah. I'd say to describe to people, if you're familiar with Georgia or Atlanta, it's very similar to Atlanta. The way the city's structured in, well, the way Atlanta is, right, is there's, if you get on a high point, like a mountain or something, there's like a bunch of trees that surround Atlanta. It's very green in a way, greener than some cities. Nashville is kind of the same way, where there's a lot of country around it, but it's all built up in one area. And I think it's on a river, isn't it?
I don't know.
I forget. But instead of trees for Atlanta, when you see Nashville from afar, it's all of the farmland. So I think that's kind of cool. I liked that. But yeah, Nashville's a really cool town. I didn't really know about the whole country music thing either, because I'm not a big country person.
Yeah.
So whenever people are like, yeah, the country stars are from there, I'm like, are they really? I don't know. Oh, man. So yeah, that's cool. Boom.
Yeah, I love Nashville. It's the best. Anyways,
Oh, there it is.
Let's see. Wait, I thought I saw something.
I swear.
Never mind.
Okay.
All right. Anything else you want to talk about before we get off this live stream?
Yeah, I'm not sure because I didn't come really prepared with any question. Man, not too many things. I thought the type thing was very intriguing. That's kind of cool. But yeah, I don't really have much. Should you have a good Monday?
Yeah. Would you? Okay. Can you describe your perfect? Okay, we're gonna go through a few different things. Describe. Oh, by the way, guys, I'm wearing a Stranger Things shirt.
Same. This was the same shirt the one guy wore when he beat up the monster. No.
How would you describe your perfect day?
Let's see. Perfect day would be get enough sleep. So I'd probably get like 8 hours of sleep or something like that. Like awesome. And then I'd wake up and it would be very nice to go outside. So I'd like to go do something outside, whether it's hiking or it could even be like yard work or something crazy. Being outside would be really cool. Or in the summer, swimming. Oh my God, I love swimming. So doing that all day, and then finding, I guess I should add this to my hobbies, but I really like food a lot. Like I like finding cool places and food. I just love it. So finding like a cool hangout spot or like somewhere where there's really great food would be also just amazing. And then all of that either being with my family or with friends would just be like, that'd be like a perfect day. Be awesome.
Where is somewhere outside of the country that you would love to visit?
Oh man, there's so many places. I'd say definitely I'd like to visit somewhere like Europe, just because once you get there, there's so many different spots you can go to. And I really would like to do all like the historical things. Like a lot of things probably people wouldn't go there for. I'd be like, oh my God, do you know what happened on this spot? Like that would be so cool. So definitely I'd say to start out, probably doing something like UK or something, just because not too crazy of a culture shock or anything. Something to start out with. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so what would you describe as your perfect friendship?
A perfect friendship would be definitely somebody who I can be really like sarcastic and sassy, yet they know exactly that I'm just being like funny around with them. Like, oh yeah, you would do that. Like it's like almost insulting, but like they're in on it too, so they just insult you back and it's fun. That kind of like playful manner is fun. And yeah, somebody that's just is really relatable with like same interests and things like that. So you'd always have a discussion. and they'd be open to hearing what you say, and you'd be open to hearing what they say. And I'm actually finding a lot of that with a lot of my coworkers I'm working with right now. So that's great. Yeah.
How would you describe your perfect partner or relationship?
Perfect partner relationship. I'd say definitely somebody very similar to friendship traits. Really want to be with somebody that understands my sense of humor, and they have their own sense of humor that they use against me, which is great. But then, like, you know, it's nothing like insulting or anything. And then somebody just being open to what I do, and then allowing them the same freedom, being open to whatever they want to do, and just knowing at the end of the day that that person has your back and you can always be with them and trust them. Like, that would just be perfect. Yeah.
What would you describe your perfect date?
Oh man, perfect date. I'd say definitely it's always nice to go to like a really cool spot in my experience here in Atlanta, just finding like a really cool restaurant that either that person doesn't know about or one that you don't know about, meeting them there, sort of doing that for the first date. Because I was going to say something like hiking or nature, but that can freak people out. So definitely like get to know the person if you do another date. But yeah, definitely meeting at like a really cool spot and hang out, and then just being able to talk to that person somewhere would be really cool.
Who would you say is your biggest inspiration?
Man, I'd have to say, can it be multiple people?
Yeah.
I'd say both my parents, because they've just been such big influences in my life, and I really appreciate them and everything they've done. And now I'm at an age where I've realized everything they did for my sisters and I. It's just like awesome to still be able to hang out with them and see them all the time too. Is like, I love that. So they're definitely big inspirations for me.
What is your biggest dream?
Oh man, my biggest dream is actually to sounds pretty weird, but I really do like cars. So one of my biggest dreams would be able to either get a really cool car or like collect them. One of the ideas I have, which is like becoming more and more of like a dream I think I'd want to do, is both my parents drove really cool cars in high school. So I'd like to find both those cars one day and add them to like a collection. I think that'd be really cool.
Interesting.
Yeah, I love that. That'd be so cool.
Guys, David Harris, how old is this guy? He's 23.
Wow, you just doxed me, dude.
I already said it in the chat.
No, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's pretty open.
Yeah, we're both Leos.
That was a cat. That was a surprised my cat hasn't barged in here. Good lord.
How would you describe my relationship with my cats?
Almost like a parent. Just it's something like you'd see on TLC or something. No, just no. No, I'd say you're really close.
True, though. You don't need to be like line the blow there.
No, I think it's kind of normal too, because like I feel like everybody kind of does with their pets. Just you like to be more open about it, because like I do that stuff. I'm like, oh my god, there's a cute dog, and like, you know, just go crazy. But like, you know, if people are more open about it, then people are like, you're a crazy cat lady. But like in reality, we're all crazy cat ladies. So yeah.
Except for your cat is not always
my
nice
cat is
you.
Horrible. I'm surprised he hasn't barged in here and demanded food. So yeah. There you go.
I'm actually surprised Fleur hasn't barged in.
Yeah, usually you're like doing the interviews and you're like, what kind of personality type? I mean, it's just like a cat on the screen. And you're like, oh, nice.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, pumpkin FJ.
How'd you figure that one out, Emily? I'm the same type as your cat.
Yeah, well, I mean, that is an honor, to be honest.
Oh my god. Actually, it is. Pumpkin, honestly, everybody who haven't met Pumpkin in person, he's pretty chill. He's awesome. My favorite part is when he wants something, he just goes, "Meh."
Pumpkin is an icon.
I like it. He doesn't meow, he just makes a noise. I love it. My friend Cat, who's also a Maine Coon, does that too. That's the best part of that breed. Meh. Oh man.
Yeah.
Boom.
So I don't know if we have anything else to add. If you guys have any more questions, I know that
God.
I did say today that I would keep these to like 30 to 45 minutes, but Chazz was one of the exceptions that I was talking about.
What?
Also because we know each other super well. So I wasn't afraid that you would do something baddies.
No, just kidding. Bad. What have people done bad things before?
Not necessarily.
Okay, I was a little worried. I was like, oh my god. Well, yeah, that's the thing, right? You haven't had to like cancel any like interviews and stuff, right? Like that would have been.
I've been tempted to delete interviews, but
like this one.
Yeah, I'm gonna delete it after.
Leave this one under review.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, well, that's cool. I was an exception.
Oh, Zen Mood said, which historical figure would you have dinner with?
Oh, you're so cool. Whoever asked that. Oh man. God, that's really hard. Oh my god. I'm trying to think of one like I've really been into, really like studied. And there's like no language barrier, right? Let's do that. Let's do no language barrier because that would kind of suck.
Mm-hmm.
Who's a really like cool, interesting person? Probably somebody who like did something like really severe that not many people would really go to. Like a lot of people would be like, oh, I want to have dinner with Napoleon or somebody. I'd probably do somebody off a little, but still important, like Mark Antony or somebody like that. Because he was in a position where like he had just as much power as anybody else, but he decided to go against that entire system to date somebody. And like that's crazy. So like finding somebody like the off characters that set aside that like some people are like, yeah, they did some kind of important. It's pretty important to hear about that stuff. So some like that, or like a really ancient person I can't think of right now would be kind of cool. Like Nebuchadnezzar or somebody. I don't know. But yeah.
Okay, I actually thought of an interesting question. Who in history do you think you were the most similar to?
Oh man. Crap, I feel like there's I'm like really blanking because I'm really trying to think who am I most similar to in history. I'd say it's probably honestly somebody like Benjamin Franklin, to be honest, because like he was really studious and like really did his work. And I mean, I haven't invented anything, but he did his thing.
Being awesome.
Thank you. He did his thing, like studious and like service or whatever. He then also was like he was a socialite, which a lot of people are like, what? He was like a party animal. And the reason he did that was to gain intel on countries and get them to ally with people. And then also, what is it? No, I think that's mostly it. The fact that he was both like into like studies and all that stuff, but also he like had a good time with people. I think that's really cool. I probably relate with him the most.
Okay, kind of turning it onto me. What
Go for it.
would you say I'm the most like historical figure wise?
Ooh.
You can be honest.
Have you heard of Empress Wu?
Wait, what?
Of Empress Wu Zetian, I think, of China.
I don't know. Maybe.
No, I was making a big joke. I thought you'd get
Okay.
it. Basically, she was one of the first empresses of China, because basically there was an emperor who got sick, and she kind of like either married in or something like that. And then when his family went to inherit it, she killed them. So then she became the leader of China, and she was scary. She basically killed thousands of people because they didn't agree with her. So
wait, are you saying that I'm like that?
that was the joke.
Okay, really.
But no, in all seriousness, who would you be most like? Man.
It can be dead or alive.
Right. Somebody who's like really rallying, but also collective. God, I'm really blanking because I always think of all the terrible people. Not for you. I'm just saying in general, like those are the people I study. God, who's like a really cool character? And I'm not going to say Theresa May. Just because you did that.
Well, also, I don't know if I would want to be compared to Theresa May.
No, you wouldn't. Man. Who is another cool leader? I want to say there's some cool figures in like Japan that I'm trying to think of right now. Oh no, I'm really blanking on this.
Okay.
I want to say somebody that has kind of this thing like Winston Churchill had going, where like he could really inspire like an entire population of people.
It can be a guy. It doesn't have to be a
female. No, yeah. I was just trying to think of like a better one, because he's kind of general, kind of deal, but not like he was able to inspire everybody, but he was also like, if somebody came up to him and they're like, "Hey, Winston, you should do this because you're pressured to do it," he was like, actually, no, and he didn't do it. So. Yeah, I'd say probably close to somebody like him.
Interesting.
Yeah, because he didn't take no bleep from people.
That's funny because Winston Churchill, of course you don't know this, but like he's described as an ESTP, which is the positive opposite of my personality.
Oh, really?
which is not like that far off, but yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, you know the personality types of historical figures, because you like. Oh my god, do you know the one? Is there like a common one among like dictators?
INFJ, which is mine.
Are you serious? Is that really it?
Yes.
Oh my god. So you would be compared to Empress Wu. Yay. It's basically like all these people that own the throne, you're dead, I'm taking it, and anybody that disagrees can die.
Yeah, I mean, we do joke about that, but a lot. I've gotten most likely to be a dictator at so many conferences. How would you describe me as Viktor Orban at our MEU conference?
All I'll say is, unfortunately, I wasn't in the same room, but from what I heard, everybody said you did too well of a job.
The faculty advisors were calling me a bitch.
They ran the show. Oh my god, that's crazy.
Yeah.
See, I didn't know if we could swear, but there you go.
Oh yeah, I say.
I forgot.
All the bad words.
Oh, I say that, and I was literally on like the New Year's drunk live stream, probably like swearing, like.
Yeah, you said some interesting things when you were drunk.
Oh god, so did you.
Yeah.
Flip side, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. There we go. That's nice. Pretty cool.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
So I think we should end it soon.
Okay.
Unless any lasting questions for Chazz. Last minute questions.
People were saying of historical figures. Joan of Arc. Oh, that's fun. Alexander the Great. Oh man, that's cool. Yeah. Cool.
All right. Well, I think I don't see any more questions, so I think we're good.
Nice. Well, I definitely enjoyed it. It's been really cool. Thanks for having me on your awesome YouTube channel.
So we came to the conclusion that Chazz is probably an ENFJ, which makes sense more
Oh, that's
than
cool.
ones.
I was always worried I'd take it and it'd be like, wow, that's not you at all. But
Yeah.
there you go. Yeah.
I did feel like you were an extroverted feeler, but no.
Yeah, I always thought I was more introverted, but I guess
Well,
not.
extroverted feeler doesn't mean. I mean, actually, a lot of
Oh,
ENFJs are introverted.
is
Like,
it like the way my professor was? Sorry to interrupt. Was it like the professor when he said he's introverted, but he can go out and do extroverted things like all the time? He just needs to recharge kind of deal? Is it kind of like that?
yeah. Well, technically, you are an extrovert, so you get your energy from being around people.
Okay.
But you also need time to recharge as well.
Okay. That makes sense. Yeah, because I guess that's why I always get that feeling of when I'm like by myself, like playing video games or watching Netflix or something, I just have to eventually get up and go do something else because I just get yeah.
See, I mean, I also get energy from being around people, but not as much as probably you do. See, I can
Okay.
sit in a room with nothing in it and be fine.
The white room, the like
Yeah.
soundproof, the one that like drives you insane. You're like, I love this. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
Man, there you go. Nice.
And we're both from the US. So
boom. Yeah, somebody asked if I was Middle Eastern. That's crazy. Man. That'd be kind of cool.
Bye-bye, guys.
Bye. Hope you all had fun. I did. It was good. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Bee, bee, bee.
Bye. Bye. Bye.